All right, so we've gone through the four main parts of design for theater. We have costume, set, light, sound. But there are the people that are backstage that are also incredibly important to any process. So these are what I call the makers, the production staff that bring all of the designs to life, right? You have the design, but then people have to actually make all these different things. So you have your technical director, who's a technical expert who supervises everything that happens. Make sure that all these plays, the different design elements are being built in a timely manner, on budget, ready for the first preview or when they get on stage when they're supposed to. So they oversee all the lighting, the carpentry to build all the stuff. They oversee actually the maintenance of the theater too, to make sure that the theater runs well. So typically they work for the theater and are employed by them. We have our technical crews. Those are people that are in the shop. This is your typical shop, whatever it looks like. We have one at the university here. It looks very similar to this, actually. This isn't ours, but it looks like it. There's a lot of scraps everywhere, stuff that they've made before. But you have your shop foreman, your scenery supervisor, production carpenters, and scenic artists. So your carpenters are the people that cut all the wood and put everything together. Your scenery supervisor is making sure everything's cohesive, and the shop foreman is making sure everything goes well. Then you have your scenic artists. Those are the ones that paint things. Which there's a video on that you'll watch. We have the costume shop. We have your costume shop manager who makes sure everybody's doing their jobs, assigns roles. You have your dyers, which dye fabrics. They still do that. Drapers, cutters, stitchers. They also do hairstylists and wigs. You have your wardrobe supervisor and dressers. Those are when you get to production. Those last two, when you're actually on stage, you've done all the rehearsals, and you're doing it for audiences. Then you have your wardrobe supervisor and your dressers. There's videos for you to watch on that. You have your lighting. So again, it doesn't exist just in a vacuum. A lot of people have to work on these things. You have your master electrician, make sure all the wires work, everything's connected. You have your electrician, your light board operator, and then of course what we saw before, the follow spot operator. This guy is the light board operator. The stage manager will cue them, they'll hit the thing, and then the lights will do what they're supposed to do. You have your sound engineer and the soundboard operator. So they make sure everything works where it's supposed to work, how it's supposed to work, and then the engineer actually, the operator rather, gets the cue from the stage manager and makes sure that the sound works well. Speaking of stage manager, these are probably the most important people especially once a production's up and running for an audience. They make sure that it goes well, everybody's there, all the light cues, all the sound cues, all the set cue, everything is done by the stage manager. They facilitate communication across all the creative and technical departments, are the right-hand person of the director. They oversee the sets, props, lights, sound, costumes, and call all technical cues during the performances. Then you have the ASM, their assistant, the assistant stage manager, who assists them in a wide variety of responsibilities. They do a lot of the paperwork. They do a lot of the backstage stuff too, like setting props, entrances and exits, making sure there's light so the actors can get on properly and off properly. They call places, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, all that kind of stuff. And then finally we have stagehands. And this is a little more specific to New York or Washington, D.C., where this picture's taken, the Shakespeare Theater. They have a union called IATSE, and so a lot of them just move set pieces around during performances. So that's all the design team. Look at the videos, we'll take a quiz, and then we'll move on to our next module next week.